Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Fenn.Talks Podcast. On today's episode, we have Sean Petersen joining us as we continue to talk about becoming a paralegal superstars. Sean, I know there probably are a couple people in this world that haven't had the opportunity to meet you or review your professional bio. So for those that don't know you, would you mind just sharing a little bit more about who you are?
Sure. I'm from Fresno originally, and I went to school back at Boston University and in Fresno State, San Joaquin College of Law, and I've been a paralegal for 26, going on 27 years coming up here. And started out with an internship in the public defender's office, and then got into litigation, and then got into business litigation. And I've been doing that for the past 24 years. And so I've been at Dowling Aaron and now Fennemore and MORE for almost 13 years.
Awesome. Well, you are one of the many phenomenal paralegals that we have within the firm. And I think it's just great to kind of highlight your story and your professional journey. So the question I would like to start with is, Sean, when you were a kid, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up? Was it a paralegal?
Actually, I thought I was going to pitch for the Red Sox, but that never worked out. There's certain talents you have to have for that, so it didn't work out that way. But I then thought about becoming a lawyer, and I majored in communications, and then decided to try to become a paralegal to see what that was about. And when I liked it, I'd go on and become a lawyer. And I liked it too much. So stayed a paralegal.
Yeah, sounds like it definitely worked out. So I'm curious, there are a lot of things that you do on a daily basis, but as you've, had experiences in this role as a paralegal, is there anything that surprised you or that you didn't necessarily know as you entered this as a career field?
Just the variety of things you do. Being a paralegal it's a dozen different chores all at once. You're a writer, you're an interviewer, you're an investigator at times, you analyze things. There's so many different types of duties you have. I originally just thought I'd sit there and be writing motions, but it's so varied that it's always interesting. It's always something new. And I've been fortunate. I've worked in a number of different fields. I've done class action lawsuits. I've done some business transaction work, and so it's always been something new and interesting to keep me going.
So everything that you do on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, annual basis, what is your most favorite thing?
I love trials. I guess everybody in litigation would say that. I think that's a cop-out. I'll do a little better than that. But I do enjoy going to trial. I do enjoy preparing for trial, the adrenaline rush that goes along with it. But I also enjoy writing. I do a lot of writing and work on a lot of motions and motion summary judgments, closing arguments, rebuttals, witness outlines. I enjoy all of that because it's piecing the puzzle together, and that's kind of fun.
So for those individuals that have maybe heard about paralegals or they're interested in exploring career opportunities in the legal field, do you have any advice for them?
Well, I think, yes. I think there's a couple things. One of the paralegals I worked with early on told me to become indispensable. Find out what your attorney needs you to do for them and do it right. And make it so that they rely on you and they can count on you. And I think that's really important. I also think organizational skills are very important because you can be working on several projects in one day. So it's a couple in an hour, obviously. But that is something that also is very important to work on.
So being involved in the community is something that runs through the veins of so many of our team members. Doesn't matter what kind of role that you hold within the firm. So one thing I know about you is that you're the president of the Fresno County Legal Professionals Association. And so I would just like to hear from your personal experience with being involved with that. What kind of impact has that had on your professional journey?
Well, I kind of stumbled into that role. One of our other paralegals here, Denise Chaffee, was leading the organization for a number of years, and she was ahead of it when I came on board. And she wanted to increase the membership. The membership was pretty modest at the time, so to speak. And basically tricked me into going to a meeting. And then eventually I got on the board. And then I've been president now for going on 7 years. And our membership grew from about 40 professionals, and we peaked out at about 156 throughout the legal community in Fresno. It includes legal secretaries, paralegals, people that work in the court system. And it's a way that we can give back, and we provide educational scholarships. We provide training. We provide MCLE, and it's just something that I get a lot of joy out of. It's giving back.
Would you encourage other paralegals to get involved in other similar organizations?
Oh, definitely. I think someone has told me that you cannot not be happy if you're helping someone else, and I found that to be very true. So I think professional organizations are a good place to start because it's great for networking, but also get involved in your community. I volunteer at with a group that does transitional living for addicts in my spare time. I've also done some other work that volunteer at the Veterans Hospital. And so I'm the community food bank, and I've taken my kids, I've kind of instilled that in them, but I think giving back to the community and being part of your community is just so valuable. It's so rewarding.
So Fennemore was recently named the #1 fastest growing law firm in the country. And part of that is the number of legal professionals that we continue to hire, and that includes paralegals. So for those individuals, I know you network with a lot of other paralegals as well. So for those that are interested in potentially pursuing career opportunities with Fennemore, do you have any advice for them? We've been part of that growth this past year, and I think that it's kind of it's been a journey, but I've really appreciated how much that Fennemore's done to make us comfortable in coming on board. I think it's a great place to work. I think the people here are awesome. And I really believe that the company supports you in your endeavors. And I think I'd encourage anybody who's interested in working for a strong firm that has a family environment still to consider Fennemore. So of everything that we've discussed today, and maybe there's something that we haven't brought up in this conversation, if you could leave our audience with any lasting remarks, is there anything else that you'd like for listeners to take away from this specific conversation?
Oh, I just think that there's keep your eyes open. The paralegal field is a wide open field, and you can have varied experiences and continue to grow. I also appreciate the fact that it's one of those that you can switch from different areas of law. So it keeps your options open, and just it allows you to keep moving forward. And that's part of my motto, is just keep moving forward and learning and growing.
Awesome. Well, in my eyes, I think you are the perfect definition of a paralegal superstar, but would love to hear your thoughts as a paralegal. What do you think it takes to become a superstar?
I think you have to like what you're doing. I really do. I think you have to enjoy your work. I think you have to take it as a profession. You have to take it as a career. You have to put some heart into it. You have to be invested in it. And I think that helps you. That helps. I think people see that. And when they do, I think, like, it goes back to my original advice that I took was make yourself indispensable. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Wonderful. Well, Sean, really appreciate you taking the time to join us for this episode of the Fenn.Talks podcast. And thanks so much for all that you do for the firm.
Thank you, Lindsay.